Yes, queen. It's really weird because there's no such thing as the perfect female lead that doesn't get hate. And it's always for the same reasons. It seems like the female lead is either a girl boss or an airhead. And that's it. Why does it always have to be one or the other? Why can't they just be human? After reading so much manhwa, I've noticed that people's opinion on girl bosses is really interesting to look at. When a girl boss is too strong, people accuse the author of bad writing because the world somehow revolves around her and all the other characters are running on one brain cell. 6D chessboard. Most beautiful, but somehow nobody sees it. Why are we mad when a girl boss is girl bossing too hard? Is there a limit to how strong a woman can be? I don't think that's the point, since it's the same thing with male characters. I don't really have a problem with Ari though. But authors can't make their girl bosses too weak either, because then they still get hated. Oh, but seriously, I guess I kind of do see the issue with making every other character revolve around the main character. I think the reason why Medea is slightly less hated than Ari is because the author actually makes her suffer consequences to her actions. Another way to make people hate the female lead is to make her show a moment of weakness, especially when she's supposed to be a girl boss. Since Kyla was supposed to be a knight and super strong and all, I guess people were really thrown off seeing that she literally forgave people that tried to murder her, saying how she changed as soon as the male lead shows up. How can you be a girl boss while not being too much of a girl boss? Because like, you're cooked either way. How dare you be a girl boss who has a moment of weakness? Like, she changed. If you're gonna be smart, you better be smart all the time, and you better live up to the expectations you set. This is kind of random, but it kind of reminded me of the whole Wizard Liz situation.
People are dating people and they put them on a pedestal, but it's all because of your energy.
So essentially, she built a career off of teaching women a confident mindset, including telling them to use men for their money. And then she got cheated on while she was pregnant. Now her fans hate her, saying that they knew that something felt off about her. Like, where is the sympathy? Girl boss female leads are more like idols than actual characters. They aren't allowed to mess up. It's so hard to make them seem more human while also not disappointing the fans at the same time. Why is it so hard? And then we have the airheads, or like the bimbos. That's not really nice, so like, I'm just gonna call them anti-girl bosses. If you've read Your Throne, I bet the first time you saw Psyche, you were like, wow, this is trash stuff. She is the anti-girl boss. She is so naive, and nobody liked her until she became a girl boss. I mean, she is my favorite manhwa character, like, of all time. But I know some people only liked her after she went on her revenge arc. Why did people think of her on the same level as Rashta? It's like, if you're presented with an innocent female character who doesn't really understand what's going on and who is technically a victim, people's first thought is like, we hate her. She's gonna steal our protagonist's man. People change so fast. I also think that she's very much lovable, even when she was a goody two-shoes, naive character. If you really liked her, you would like every single version of her. How could you initially hate her for being weak, only to turn around saying that you love her so much? And then there's manhwas who use anti-girl bosses as comedic plot devices. But for some reason, under every chapter, there's always someone saying, why is she so stupid? When is she gonna change? Well, she's not gonna change, because the whole joke is her being so naive and delusional that the whole plot somehow goes in her favor, like, ironically. Not gonna lie, I really enjoy these types of female leads, especially manhwas that don't take itself too seriously. Also, there's this complaint that having these anti-girl boss female leads is like perpetuating the idea that women are just not smart. And I'm not gonna lie, some of them could use some better writing, especially when they're supposed to be seen as intelligent, but they just end up getting taken advantage of by the male lead constantly. That's definitely a problem for sure. But you can't hate a female character for the sole reason that she acts a little silly and smiles too much, if that's even a thing. annoying. Can't really go without mentioning Layla. I don't think you need me to explain the story, but how could you hate Layla? I will never understand the people who call her stupid. I think the problem with this manhwa is the romanticization of SA rather than Layla being dumb. What? And while we're on the topic of controversial female leads, I don't think Nahesu is a badly written character. I tried to read it to see what it was all about. I think I read up to like chapter 30 or something. When Hesu cuts off her ex-husband and she goes outside and literally the color palette changes, and seeing her have hope in life again, it made me cry. I think like up to the point that I've read, she seems like a really well-written character. The male lead is kind of weird, but this video is about female leads. I think the fact that Hesu went to another man to solve her man problems is very hard for someone who's so man-centered to immediately not become that way. Her character is pretty realistic. Not that this story is healthy or anything, but if you want someone to hate the male lead and the ex-husband, why'd you hate her? Okay, this has nothing to do with what I just said 2 seconds ago. The way people said Sung Jin-woo lost aura because he's crying, it's like the male gaze equivalent of when a girl boss makes a mistake. This video was unscripted. I'm sorry if it didn't make any sense and has no structure. It was mostly just a pointless rant. People can like and hate whatever they want to like and hate, so like anyways, enjoy life.